Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have a man who went missing from a cruise ship and you'll be surprised where he was found. We also have the city of Galveston, Texas getting ready to make more levies on cruise ships and even charge you more for parking. And what cruise terminal do you think is now the busiest cruise terminal in the world, they're saying? Well, it might surprise you. So let's start off with the city of Galveston. They are looking at expanding the cruise ships, going with maybe Norwegian getting some cruise ships coming out of there. We have now the Allure sailing out of Galveston. And so, yeah, it's becoming a bigger place for cruise ships. Well, a little while ago, Galveston negotiated a service charge per ticket, per passenger, with Royal Caribbean. Well, now they're working on creating one with Carnival Cruise Line as well as with Disney Cruise Line. They're in negotiations for that right now. So you can expect a surcharge going up of probably 50 cents a person. Not a great deal when you're talking thousands of dollars for your cruise ship. But they're also talking about people with your parking of another $1 surcharge per day for parking in the cruise parking lots as well as the public cruise parking lots. So I don't know, are they allowed to charge in the public parking spots? I guess if it's partly run by the city, I guess that's availability. But as the city grows and more cruise comes in, they need more money for infrastructure and things like that, more guards, more security, whatever it is. Well, they're going to raise it by adding some money onto your expense of your cruise. And I'm okay with that. If you don't want to park there, park somewhere else. If you don't want to go on the cruise because you're going to pay an extra 50 cents a person, you might not want to be on that cruise anyway. Then we also have, what is the most busy cruise port? They're saying now in pretty much the world. Well, it used to be Fort Lauderdale or Miami. Miami used to be the key. Where they're saying Port Canaveral now, out of Orlando, is becoming even busier than those cruise ports with all the new ships there, like the Wonder of the Seas sailing out of there now. I believe the Prima is out of there as well now. But just so many new ships sailing out of Canaveral because it was getting just too crowded down at the other two destinations out of Miami and Fort Lauderdale. So congratulations, Port Canaveral. I know they're off to a booming start to this year, and they actually made a pretty good profit at the cruise port after not making any money in 2020, 2021, 2022. They started making it back, and now finally 2023, they look like they're going to make a huge profit going into this year. Glad to hear that. Now, let's talk about the man who went missing. But before I get there, let me just invite you to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. You want to keep up to date with all things cruising, from price hikes to ports that are opening to cruise vlogs to cruise news. Whatever it is you are interested in the cruising community, we're probably going to talk about it here on the channel at some point, and maybe even make your cruise just a little bit easier and maybe even a little cheaper as well. Really do appreciate it, and I really want to thank you. Okay. A man apparently went missing from one of the cruise ships in St. Kitts, and they put out a search for him. They went looking for him after he disembarked the ship all over the place. And the police were looking for him, the cruise line was looking for him, everyone was looking for him. Well, they finally found him. They found him because he turned up at the St. Kitts airport. That's right. He got off the ship to go visit relatives and apparently took all his stuff with him when he left and then went to the airport trying to fly out and leave the country. Now, you can leave partway through your cruise, but you have to usually make arrangements ahead of time because they have you scheduled to arrive back at the cruise port that you left from, and the cruise line has to explain why you're not on the cruise ship anymore. So apparently he just decided, I'm gonna fly back home. Didn't tell anybody, and yeah, the police were looking for him, cruise lines were looking for him, and I imagine he might be in just a little bit of trouble because he didn't notify anybody that this was his plan. So in the future, you can get off a cruise ship at a port that's not your ending final destination. But you usually have to let the cruise line know so they can let customs and immigration know not to expect you back at the port. Because when that cruise ship would arrive, say they were leaving out of Miami, when that cruise ship arrives from Miami and you're disembarking and they're looking for the passengers, they're going to say, hey, this passenger hasn't arrived yet. And the cruise will have to, oh my goodness, we're going to have to search for him. And if they don't find him on board, they have to look at their record. Oh, he got off in St. Kitts and didn't get back on, and there's another search. And it's a whole bunch of trouble. Where really all you have to do is contact the cruise line, let them know in advance, and make arrangements. It's normally that easy. But yeah, I have a feeling this gentleman might be in for some fines in the future. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.